Hello, hello. I am back to help you do this thing called life. So I want you to keep praying for me while I keep praying for you. And we're going to keep looking for God to change things. Okay? Today, what I'd like to talk to you about is pretty much a continuation or kind of like an offshoot or extension of what we talked about yesterday. Yesterday, I was saying how we have to be careful what we meditate on, and that we should meditate on what we want to manifest. I was saying how so many times if a wrong is done to us, or if there's some pain we've experienced, some trauma that we've experienced, we often tend to revisit it over and over and over, and that we have to make a choice. And so today, what I wanted to talk to you about is because some of you may be saying, I can't help what I think, but you can. You can't help the thought that comes to your mind, but as that thought comes to you, we honestly do have a choice. We do have a choice. I'm not diminishing any trauma. I'm not diminishing any pain. I'm not diminishing any offenses that may have been inflicted upon you. I am not slighting it. However, I am saying that you are more powerful than what happened to you, because what happened to you did not take you out. And what we don't have is a rewind button in life. There is nothing that can make it unhappen. So then we have an obligation to ourselves regarding what we do with the rest of our lives. We can't let that incident steal our lives. And I'm not even, and you may be saying, well, I won't be talking about this next year. Well, why talk about it tomorrow? Unless it's in counseling, unless it is with someone who is helping you work through it. There's no need in revisiting the pain continuously, because it's just like when you skin your knee, or yeah, we can just take you skin your knee. And if you're constantly picking at it, you know it doesn't heal. And we want those areas that have been compromised, we want them to heal. And so in order to help them heal, you can't keep picking at it. You can't keep revisiting it. What you need to do is apply a healing ointment. And I believe that if you can find some joy in your life, some love, some peace, that begins to soothe that thing over. And so I'm going to look at my notes so I don't leave anything out. Yesterday we were talking about meditate on what you want to manifest. And today it was like I was hearing, whatever you meditate on, you magnify. So if it's something bad that has happened, you actually magnify it. It could have been a word that was spoken, and I understand they cut deep. I've talked to y'all before about how certain words or things that I've overheard someone say about me cut me to the core. And I mean, dictated a lot of my life for probably about 40 years, 35, 40 years. So I understand. But so if it's something negative and you meditate on it, you keep revisiting it, you magnify it, because it's like blowing air into it. You keep making it bigger and bigger and bigger. But think about if it's something good, if it's God, and you meditate on it, and you think, how can I magnify God? We say it all the time. Oh, magnify the Lord with me. How you make God bigger? Well, God is as big as he's ever going to be. He is God. But how big is he in your life? You determine how big you allow God to be in your life. And so when we meditate on him, When we meditate on good, then we magnify it. So, what I wrote first thing this morning, we are not slave to our thoughts. We're not slaves to our thoughts. We have a choice about what we meditate on. If the thought comes 100 times, dismiss it 100 times. You cannot stop the thought from coming. You can't stop it, but you can dismiss it. You can move it. You don't have to meditate, okay? You don't have to meditate. It may come at you, but you can knock it down. You don't have to sit there and soak it in. You are in control. When it shows up, resist it. Resist it. The word says resist the devil. It says humble yourself. I think it says under the mighty hand of God. Resist the devil and he will flee. So how do you resist him? By shifting your focus. You shift your focus. You shift your attention. You shift to praise. So, and I'm trying to find a way to make it practical. When something comes your way, hey, here we go. I have a past of depression. Okay. Depression was on me real bad. For about 12 years, severely depressed for about 12 years. And as I began to come out of that, and God began to give me strategies, there was a time when I could feel the darkness coming. I could feel it coming. At that point, I had to make a choice. I had to shift. Now, at that time, I was on medication. So as soon as I would feel it, they told me to take it every day. I didn't want to take it every day because it had me like a zombie. Now, I should have talked to my doctor and had the dosage adjusted, but I didn't at that time. So don't follow me. You speak with your doctor. But I decided, okay, because I could feel it coming, as soon at the onset, as soon as I felt it coming, I would take my medicine. Okay. Well, then there came a time not long after that I did not need medication anymore. I just didn't. But what I found was that when depression would try to come, I would shift my attention. Rather, I had a choice. I could sit there and continue to dwell on the thoughts that would make me more and more depressed and that would take me down. Or I could shift my attention, literally move my body, like get up and go somewhere, put my hands to work, do something. So I would shift even my physical environment. That's something you can do to resist the devil. Shift your focus. You know, so many times I found too that when I was suffering from depression, the reason I suffered from depression was because I was focused on self. Me, how bad I had it, how bad people were treating me, how I looked, how I felt, that's what kept making me lower. When I put my attention outside myself and I either volunteered or complimented someone or helped someone, I put that energy into doing something for someone else. Before I knew it, I was out of it, out of that depressed state, you know. Now, would it come back later? Yes. But once I had the equation for success, once I had the formula, there we go, the formula for my success, I knew that was what I needed to do. And then the more as I got more and more freedom from that thing, I realized that one of the greatest things that I could do, besides getting out of myself by helping someone else, was to focus on God. So even now, if I were to feel that thing come, God, I glorify you. God, I love you. Lord, there's nobody like you. God, I thank you for how good you are to me. God, I thank you for this breath you gave me. God, I thank you for this moment. I thank you for my family. Lord, I thank you for how you, once you begin to do that, once you begin to think about the things that God has already brought you through, once you begin to magnify him, once you make him big, because as you begin to do that, yeah, you do make him bigger in your life. And when we magnify God, what can compare to God? Absolutely nothing. When we begin to magnify him and think about how big he really is in our lives, all other things diminish. All other things diminish. Let me tell you something. If there is something in your life that is bigger than your God, you need to check your perspective, because it's got to be off. Because if you serve the God I serve, there is nothing too great for him. There is nothing that's bigger than him unless you make it that way. I think I said this before, and I didn't expect to go here, but I remember before putting my hand, if you go outside and the sun is shining, and you, I mean, as bright as it is and as hot as it is, we can take our hands, put it in front of our face, and block out the sun as big as it is. It's all about perspective. So you can take a praise and you can put it, I'll say right here, because it has no business up here. Not the thing that you're fighting. It shouldn't be elevated. But wherever that thing is in your life, wherever it is in your life, block it out with a praise. Block it out with a praise. Magnify the Lord. Okay? Whatever you meditate on, you magnify. So I encourage you, magnify God. Make him big in your life. Make him bigger than any situation. Make him bigger than any problem. Make him bigger than any person. The person in your life might be the situation and the problem. But make him bigger than anything you encounter. Give him his rightful place. So just know that you are not a slave to your thoughts. You're not. You are empowered and you can be free. Now you'll have to knock it down one thought at a time. But after a while, if you keep doing it, it may take you over and over and over and over today. You might have to do it 100 times in a day. But tomorrow, prayerfully, you can do it 90. Or maybe 50. Or maybe 10. Sometimes all you need is a reset. Sleep is a good thing. Sometimes all you need is a reset. But whatever you do, just know that the more you exercise that right to be free, the more you exercise that right to resist, the stronger that muscle becomes. The quicker it becomes your go-to. It becomes your second nature. As soon as that other thing comes, oh no. And you'll find yourself having dominion over it, okay? Oh my goodness. I talked way longer than I meant to. I had no idea. Anyway, I hope that you get something from it. I pray that it helps you. I pray that it is an actionable step that you can take to making your life better, to coming out on top. Because these things are trying to distract you, trying to deter you, trying to discourage you. But I'm trying to tell you, if you can grab hold to what I'm saying, pretty soon you'll begin to see things turn around, because God has something great in store for you. I believe it with everything in me. He wouldn't have me talking to you, and he wouldn't have you listening if it wasn't so. Well, this has been One More Minute with Marcy. I'll be back tomorrow with another moment of momentum producing motivation. In the meantime, stay encouraged. And remember, you gotta flutter before you can fly. But flying is in your future. I love y'all.